The Nuggets, trying to extend their lead to 3. Can they do it? Let's find out. You're watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. Let's get it. Hey everyone, let's talk sound quality. Imagine having pro-level audio that's easy to set up, flexible, and sounds incredible. That's the Røde Pod Mic USB. It's got both USB and XLR connections, so whether you're recording solo at home or in a full studio setup, you're covered. And get this, the built-in DSP effects let you adjust the sound with zero lag. You get that deep, smooth broadcast tone right out of the box. It's versatile, powerful, and basically makes your voice sound like pure gold. How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. So the Nuggets headed to Sacramento today. They took on the Sacramento Kings, and it was a dogfight of a, if I can say so, of a game. It was, a lot of tales of different quarters, and at one point you thought that it was going to be a blowout. The next you thought it was going to be an embarrassing loss, and I probably had like maybe 10 heart attacks throughout the game. 7 lead switches within the last few seconds of the game. It was crazy, but the Nuggets, they did well. So first off, with the Nuggets, or with the game here, Christian Braun was out with back spasms. So he sat this one out. This was the first game of the season that he sat out. Probably why he didn't get that double-digit point in the last game against the Clippers, because he was feeling a little bit tender there. So kind of makes sense now. But the starters tonight were Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Jokić, and then Westbrook stepped in for Brown's spot. And we've seen Christian Braun and Westbrook. Now, this was the first time we're seeing Jamal and Westbrook in the starting line. And, man, it was an interesting lineup, especially for that first quarter. We'll get into it a little later here. But the Nuggets were wearing white. The Kings were wearing black with purple. And the Kings have had a 3-game winning streak against the Nuggets at home in Sacramento. And so the Nuggets were looking to break that streak and finally get a dub in the Sacramento area. And they did it. The Nuggets won in a clutch time, 130-129. Man, and I tell you, it was a dog fight. But Jamal Murray showing that he is still clutch. He had all sorts of different kinds of games tonight. I think the entire team did. But then also, I would say that the Kings had several different games tonight as well in one game. It was just a circus of a game tonight. So let's break down the game. First quarter, Nuggets controlled the tap. Nearly lose the possession, but AG hustles and gets it to Westbrook, who gets blocked, but sticks with it for the first bucket of the game. AG gets blocked, but sticks with it as well, and taps it in his own shot to get the Nuggets to an early lead of 7-2, forcing Michael Brown, the Nuggets or the Kings coach, to call a timeout. And I cannot stand Michael Brown. Out of all of the crybaby coaches in the league, I know Steve Kerr. He's a great coach. He's coached the Warriors to 4 titles. But I think he's spoiled now, and he just has a result of crying every single time the Warriors lose. He'll cry about something. But Michael Brown, however, I feel like, is the worst offender of complaining. And he has gotten to the point where he has almost tried to attack refs during games. So I do not like him at all. He is like a big baby, because essentially I noticed a lot of this last year, especially where he would complain about the refs not calling any of the good calls for the Kings, And then when that same thing happens to the other team when the Kings are playing, he's silent. And I just feel like if you're going to complain about the refs, you have to do it both ways. You got to give credit to the other team if you know they're getting the bad calls, like credit them. Like, yeah, we lucked out with a bunch of calls or whatever. Like, you don't necessarily have to say, well, yeah, they were doing bad calls against them. Like, just, you know, call out like we lucked out. But he doesn't do that. He assumes that that was a fair game. But then when it goes the opposite way, then all of a sudden it's a travesty and the entire league is against the Kings. So, like, I cannot stand Brown. And so I'm sure he will complain tonight. But you didn't hear any complaining from Malone, which was awesome. So, and we got the W. So he called it an early timeout. Then Westbrook draws the defense, kicks it out to Murray to knock down a three, followed by back-to-back buckets by AG, which was awesome. Made us all Nuggets Nation feeling good. Ends with an alley-oop from AG, or to AG from Murray to get the Nuggets lead up to 12. Then the bench comes out, and they keep the same intensity that the starters had. And this was like the exact thing that we wanted to see. Ever since the Hawks game, the bench has been kind of consistent and very intense, keeping up the intense plays and keeping, like, we don't see the lead dwindle down greatly or anything. And in fact, the lead went up in the first quarter here when the bench came out. The bench comes out, and then there was a no-look pass from Jokić to P-Watt for a three that made the lead up to 20. So the Nuggets actually won the first quarter 41-21. They had a 20-point lead. But then the second quarter happens. So the second quarter happens and starts off, and Kings miss their shot to start the quarter off. Leads Nuggets to battle it out, but Strawther sinks a three for the first points of the quarter. DJ gets a block, and Strawther the ball, who gets fouled at the 3-point line, but they don't call it a foul, a shooting foul. They call it before the shot. So it's an out of bounds, side in. And then there was back-to-back buckets from the Kings, drops the lead to 17. We actually, I think, got up to like 23, 25 at that point. But then the Kings just battled and took down that lead to 17. Nuggets then, their defense disrupts the Kings, who lose the ball. P-Watt dives for it, kicks it to Strawther, who kicks it to Jamal for a layup, which was a great play. Like, that's the kind of hustle that we need to see more often. Diving for the ball, making, each game matter, acting as if they matters. DJ gets knocked, and the ball goes out of bounds. Not one ref saw what was going on, and so they called the ball in favor of the Kings. And then they started to talk, and no one knows what was going on. So then they were deciding, well, maybe we're going to do a jump ball. So Malone called a timeout and challenges it, and it becomes successful because it was off of Sabonis. And just like one of those stupid things that the refs do that leads Malone to call early challenges. And he saves the second challenge, and he actually never uses that second challenge, which he definitely could have. Had this game gone the other way and we had lost, I would be talking about how he didn't use the second challenge, and he needed to use it. There was definitely some plays in that fourth quarter that he should have used it. So, but lucky for him, they snuck out with a win there. So the lead goes down to 10 in the second quarter. So very common of the Nuggets to blow a 20-point lead. It was like the postseason, second round postseason last year all over again, losing a 20-point lead that we should have, if anything, extended to 30 points. We should have had a 30-point lead by the half. But give the Kings credit, they did battle back, and they fought really hard in that second quarter. It was like a different team. From first quarter to second quarter, different teams. All of a sudden, the Nuggets looked like the lackadaisical team that didn't know what was going on. And then the Kings looked very hungry and ready to go. It was crazy how that just swapped so quickly. The Nuggets and Kings start trading buckets back and forth in the last minutes of the half. But the Kings then win the second with 47-34. Like, good Lord. We were able to get 41 points in the first quarter. We allowed them 47. That was just insane. Luckily, we were still up at the half. It was 75-68 at the half. So then the third quarter starts. Kings and Nuggets first possessions come up empty, but then Fox sinks a three for the first bucket of the quarter and the half, followed by another three. Kings chip down the lead down to 2. Malone calls a timeout, really hot. He was super hot at the starters for that one. And out of the timeout, Westbrook scores a layup, which was like, okay, great. Thanks, Brody, for getting the Nuggets back in. And Brody, I will give Brody 100% credit. He kept the Nuggets alive in this game. His defense and his energy just willed the Nuggets to this win. I don't think we could have done it without Westbrook, for sure. And I think that's the difference between this year and last year. Was last year we didn't have him. We had Reggie Jackson, who is mediocre, if anything, I would say. His energy is definitely not Westbrook energy. So, like, that energy, I think, alone saved the Nuggets. But Monk sinks a three that gives the Kings their first lead. It was very frustrating. Another turnover leads to the Kings to get to 100 first. The Kings win the third 35-21. So not only did they win the second by 13 points, they won the second. Then they turn it around and they win by another 14 points in the third. It was like completely like just stupid ball playing that the Nuggets did. So then the fourth quarter happens, and this is when it really got interesting. Like I said, this was a circus of a game. You had a great start by the Nuggets. Looked like they were going to take it, and they were just going to smash the Kings. They had a 20-point lead. Then all of a sudden the Kings come back, and now they've tied it, and then they got the lead. And then they got a 10-point lead. The quarter starts with 2 minutes of no one able to make a bucket. I'm not joking. Not one person on either team could make a bucket for the first 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Then Strother finally gets a bucket for the first of the quarter. Kings answer with a three for an 8-point lead. Murray sinks a three to get the Nugs finally to 101, finally to over 100. 8 straight points for the Kings bumps their lead up to 10. Buckets by Jamal, Jokić, Brody, and AG, which included a 3-point shot from AG, was able to get the Nuggets to bounce back and get a 1-point lead. A 1-point lead trade back and forth for the last 2 minutes of the game. This is where it was 7 lead changes. It is back and forth. 1-point lead, 1-point lead. Then the Kings sink a three. They go up 2. Then the Jokić gets a 3. Then the Nuggets go up by 1. It was crazy. 20 seconds left after DeRozan gets a dunk and the Kings back up to 1. Malone takes a timeout. And then the lead shifts back to the Nuggets after Murray makes a clutch shot with 8 seconds left on the clock. Then the Kings take a timeout. They advance the ball, and thank God the Nuggets defense was up a little bit because it definitely disrupted them a little bit. And then the Kings, though, were also a little bit almost like they had some butter on that ball or something because DeRozan fumbles the ball and the time runs out. Hopefully you would have liked to have had like a block or a steal. It was more of just DeRozan fumbling the ball. If he hadn't fumbled the ball and he had just shot it, he probably would have made it and the Kings would have won. Like, tell you what, like that intensity of that game, of those last 20 seconds was excruciating. I'm telling you, I had several heart attacks in that one. But the Nuggets did actually end up winning the fourth quarter 34-26. So the Nuggets, again, win 130-129. Thank God they didn't light that damn beam. I cannot stand Sacramento and their damn beam. Get rid of that damn beam. Oh my God. It's so annoying. We'll get into the stats after this. Hey everyone. If you're looking for a game-changing webcam that keeps up with every move, you've got to check out the Insta360 link. It's a 4K AI-powered webcam that auto-tracks so you're always in frame, even if you're moving around. Perfect for live streams, meetings, content creating, also podcasts. It adjusts to light, zooms in and out, and follows you naturally. This is hands-free, hassle-free, studio-quality production for anyone who wants professional visuals right from the desk. Insta360 Link is a total game changer. And we're back. All right, so stats here. We have Michael Porter Jr. played 30 minutes tonight, made 11 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. He had 4 for 7 from field goals, 1 for 2 in 3 points, 2 for 3 in free throws. He had 2 turnovers, 1 personal foul with a +8. Well, weird game for Michael Porter Jr. MPJ tonight, because at one point it felt like he was heating up, and then it just kind of felt like he was, gone, and then he kind of had good defense, and then it was nothing. But he did get a double-double, so there's something about that. We had several Nuggets with at least a double-double, so he had a double-double. Then we have Aaron Gordon, played for 30 minutes as well. 24 points. Amazing game for Aaron Gordon. I really wish that he wouldn't have been hurt for 10 games, because I'm pretty positive if he had been playing for those 10 games and hadn't been out at all, he would be Jokić's first all-star teammate. He has been phenomenal this year. Really upped his game. 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 9 for 14 from field goals, 64%, everyone. 64% from field goals. That's awesome. He was 1 for 3 in 3-pointers, so not his best 3-point day, but he did make a clutch 3-point shot tonight that saved the Nuggets. 5 for 6 from free throws. He only missed 1, but he was definitely one of our best free throws tonight, 3 shot makers. Then he had 1 turnover, 3 personal fouls, was a +6. And we have Jokić, who had a sluggish game at first, and we were hoping that he would pull it together. And like normal, he did, especially in the fourth quarter. He played 38 minutes, had 20 points, 14 rebounds. He actually tied Domantas Sabonis for rebounds, who also had 14. He had 28 points, so he had a double-double, but not a triple-double. So take that, Kings and Sabonis. Stupid Sabonis. 13 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 8 for 19 from field goals, 1 for 6 in 3-pointers. Man, Jokić could not hit any threes tonight. It was frustrating, but I'm glad to see that he was kept on trying, because he also made a clutch 3 that I don't know if we could have won without that one. Like, it really, the team all just pulled together at those last seconds. So he had 3 for 4 in free throws. He had 5 turnovers, 0 personal fouls for Jokić tonight. He was a +4. So Jamal Murray, 38 minutes as well. He had 28 points. He was the Nuggets' leading scorer tonight. He had 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 block. He was 11 for 26 in field goals, 4 for 8 in 3-pointers, 2 for 2 in free throws, 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls, was a +10. So he was the highest plus Nugget tonight. Then we have Westbrook, 34 minutes, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists. I was so hoping this would be the game that we finally get to see Jokić and Westbrook both get triple doubles tonight. So close, just 1 rebound. That's actually what I was hoping that would end the game, was that whoever shot for the Kings, they would miss and Westbrook would get the rebound and get that triple double finally. But man, I know it's gonna come. It's gotta come. We've got to have a Jokić and Brody both triple doubles in the same game. He had 3 steals, 8 for 13 on field goals. He had 0 for 3 in 3-pointers, 2 for 4 in free throws. He had 3 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a +3. And then mainly for the bench here, Julian Strawther has really done a good job lately. He's really elevated his game just a smidge. It would be great to see him elevate even more, but he played 23 minutes, had 13 points off the bench. And then he was a -11. Peyton Watson he was the one that, again, dived for the ball, had some crucial minutes there. He actually got fouled several times that they never called. I mean, even Jamal Murray got hacked at the baseline at one point, and then no call at all. It was actually by Ellis, and then they didn't call anything. But then Ellis goes up for a layup, gets grazed on the elbow, and they called that. Like, it just stupid officiating tonight. I will admit, for both sides, it was just stupid officiating. And then but Peyton Watson had 9 off the bench, was a -5. Hunter Tyson, 17 minutes, 7 points, was a -7. DeAndre Jordan was 9 minutes, 0 points. He even missed a dunk. That, like, come on, DJ, that's your thing. Don't miss a dunk. It would have been a great move too if he had done it, but he was a -3. So, bench had both great start and then a horrible times, and then they came back again. It was just like all over the place. So total stats here, we had 55 rebounds to the Kings 42. We had 38 assists to their 28, 9 steals to their 10. Let's see, blocks, we had 4 to their 9. And then we shot 50% from field goals. They shot 48. We had 35% from 3-pointers. They had 34. 75% from free throws. They had 95%. They were hitting every single free throw. It was ridiculous. Only Fox missed 1 free throw. It was frustrating, man. And then we had 15 turnovers to their 11, 8 personal fouls to their 23. So, we'll get into the big takeaways after this. As a cinematographer, photographer, and now a podcaster, I do believe lighting is everything. And if you're serious about creating dynamic content, you need to check out Nanlite. They're all about precision and control. Whether it's soft, natural lighting or vibrant colors, Nanlite gives you full flexibility to set the mood for any scene. From compact LEDs to powerful softboxes, Nanlite has light solutions that fit every setup. It's ideal for photographers, like myself, videographers, like myself, and creators who want to pro-grade quality right out on their fingertips. With Nanlite, you're lighting like a pro every time. All right, and we're back. All right, so the big takeaways, like Malone said in his post-game interview tonight, this game was a tale of a lot of different quarters. Nuggets need to play more like they did the first and fourth quarter. If they want to win, they need to play like they did the first and fourth quarter for all 4 quarters. They can't just be trying to win off of 2 quarters. That's the reason why this came to a clutch game. This could have been a blowout. This should have been a blowout. The way that they started the game, they should have been a blowout on the Kings at home. We should have embarrassed them at home. But they only played 2 quarters, unfortunately. So, but we got the win, so that's nice. Nuggets, even though they got on a 3-game winning streak, are still dealing with energy management issues. We can see that. They looked tired in the third quarter, like not even talking about the second quarter. Like the third quarter, after they had that intermission, the halftime intermission, they got a little bit of breathing time, at least like 18 minutes of breathing time. But it wasn't enough because they still looked super tired in the third quarter. They just looked gassed. And so there's an energy management issue that they're dealing with. Hope they can control it and get it back on track, because what we saw against the Hawks and what we saw against the Clippers recently, that was much better load management of their energy, of each player giving the same amount of effort. And so, like, that's what we want to see. We want to see everyone eat. We want to see everyone engaged with the game. And so that other players aren't having to pick up slack where they need to. But, Jokić still got his triple-double. Brody should have gotten a triple-double. We had Michael Porter Jr. with a double-double. And Hunter Tyson actually got the defensive player of the game chain tonight. So, I mean, he had really good defense. I will give him that. He did do a lot of stuff that the team needed him to do. You could have easily have also given it to P-Watt. You could have given it to Brody. You could have given it to Jamal. But Hunter, has never gotten it before. Great time for a second year to get some little bit of confidence, get him to help out more. And that's what we needed. So that's awesome. The next game for the Nuggets is going to be against Portland in Portland, the Trailblazers there. And they're a team that's below 500 right now. They were last year. They're better than they were last year. I will say that. So it's not going to be an easy game. At least I'm not expecting it to be an easy game, even though they're, even out of the play-in right at this point. I'm not expecting it to be an easy game. They've given a lot of their the games that they're in, their opponents. They've given them a lot of heat. So they've been tough. Even though they've been losing, they're kind of like the Western Conference right now version of the Raptors. The Raptors have given everyone like a beating up until the last minutes when they lose. They lost tonight against my Bulls by 1 point. And so, I think the Portland Trailblazers are very much the Raptors of the West, because they're not giving up at all, but they are somehow still losing. So hopefully they lose against the Nuggets, and that's going to be on Thursday. So we'll definitely check in for that. Tomorrow is the NBA Emirates in-season tournament cup finals match against the Milwaukee Bucks and the OKC Thunder. To be honest, I was really hoping neither of those teams would have made it. I had really hoped for the Knicks to be in the finals against the Houston Rockets. At least I got the Houston Rockets beating the Warriors. That was nice to at least get that right. But everything else, and I also got the OKC beating the Mavericks. I got that one. But I was really hoping that the Houston Rockets would have beaten the OKC. And now we have Giannis versus SGA. And I don't really know or think I care who wins, but it will be interesting to see who wins. So I'm still going to watch it. I don't really care who's going to win. I mean, they're both annoying teams, especially Giannis. I think he's a child, especially the way that he, I'm not if you know any of my past episodes, you know me that I am not a big Celtics fan at all. I hate the Celtics, but what he did to Jaylen Brown was straight up immature. And so I'm not a big Giannis fan. I think that Jokić is definitely more of an MVP than Giannis is, even though Giannis has been scoring high this season every game. He's not been averaging triple-doubles the way that Jokić has been, or even double-doubles the way Jokić has been. He doesn't make the entire team better like Jokić does. So, but he is good for what the Milwaukee Bucks need him to be. And then you also have Damian Lillard there to help out. And so it'll be interesting. Honestly, it will be an interesting match to see. and just thankful that the Celtics and the Lakers aren't in it. So, but they also don't care about it, or at least the Celtics don't care about it. They're not really worried about the cup. They're worried more about getting another chip. And the Nuggets now need to make sure that they don't. They need to, well, at least everyone in the league needs to make sure that the Lakers and the Celtics don't get another chip right now. At this point, I would be happy with anyone. Of course, I want the Nuggets to win, but I would be happy with any other team other than those two winning the chip tonight, this year. So, but then after that, the Nuggets then go over to New Orleans again. So we have Portland on Thursday, and then New Orleans on Sunday, and then it's a back-to-back. So Sunday and then Monday is the Phoenix Suns in Denver, and then on Christmas Day, they'll head over to Phoenix to face the Suns again. So a very struggling next week. You should, if we have our main starters, we should definitely pay back New Orleans for that loss that we had last time we were there, get that win, but then having to face the Suns in Denver on a back-to-back there is not going to be fun, and then having to face them again just a day and a half later, not going to be cool, or not going to be easy. And then you have the Cavaliers at the end of that week, and they're going to be in Denver, so... And then that's actually a back-to-back as well, because then on the Saturday of the 28th, then you have the Pistons in Denver. Like, it's a struggling rest of December for the Nuggets. A lot of games coming up. I know I don't expect them to win all these games, but to actually at least win the subpar 500 teams. Just at least do that. That's the one thing that we should be doing, is winning those games, winning against New Orleans, winning against Portland, winning against Utah. We have them again in Utah on the 30th. That's actually our last game of the year. So lucky there. But then we do have a game on January 1st. So, but and also winning against Detroit, because they're a subpar 500 team right now as well, you know. And then, with the Cavaliers, I'm kind of split on the way I feel about that, because on one end they are the most dominant team in the league right now, so I don't hold too much against the Nuggets for losing the last game. But now I've seen the Hawks beat the Cavaliers. If the Hawks can beat the Cavaliers, then dang it, the Nuggets can win against the Cavaliers too. So I hope the Nuggets win against the 1 seed there, because that would definitely help their self-esteem for sure. So, but that's all, pretty much all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it out to your friends and family. And we'll be back on Thursday for the Nuggets versus Portland. And you've been watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. We'll check you on Thursday.